Okay. Okay, we are live. Awesome. How do I split my screen? And then I just put it. I'm on live on YouTube. Oh, somebody just asked. Yep. I just sent out a parents for my message. Yep. You can send parents in here. Okay. Good morning, families. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How's everything? Yes, you are here, but we're also live, so that's great as well. How's everything going? It is wet outside. It's a monsoon. Do you travel far or from the house? No. Close by. Okay. Awesome. We'll get started in about 3 more minutes. 8:30-ish. I can find something. Good morning. Hello. Now you okay? Come. Bring it to the left and take a seat.
Morning.
Well, I'll get us started. We will begin. You can also help yourself to some fruit if you like while we are in the space. Maybe let's get started. How are you? Hi. Hello. Stranger danger. I don't know. Martha? Okay, we are going to get started. Would you like some fruit? Okay, so this time, good morning. This time is for us to just connect, hear some feedback about what we're doing well, some things that are either concern for you or feedback that you have, suggestions that you have for your experience and your scholars' experiences thus far. And then I'll share some updates and just what's coming. Nothing that isn't different from the family memo that went out yesterday. But in the event you have any questions or want to learn more, then we can have a conversation about that as well. So, how's it going? Who just got again? Nathaniel. Okay. Yes. And Kasaya. Yes. Okay. Awesome. It's going well.
Since our second year here, I was a little pleased.
Okay.
I just wanted a little bit more info on like the curriculum after school.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do they get into the activities versus just classes and like how does that work?
Okay. So for after school, we have a rotating schedule. They start off with snack and the transitions into their groups. And then there's homework help time with the teacher who's supporting the class. And then they go to different activities. So we have steel pan drum, chess, dance, Girl Scouts are coming. We'll be doing that in about a couple weeks. I'm still waiting on the materials to be delivered, and our liaison to start us off. I'm the group leader, so I'll be doing that, myself and Miss Roberts for Girl Scouts. And there is arts with Miss Cato, and then they have like different activities depending on what the day is. The teacher after school just plans whatever their activity is.
So they just basically rotate to
They rotate different activities, different days. So I know dance is like Tuesday and Thursdays, art is Monday, Wednesday, and then we just have different time slots for different activities. Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I figured you guys had a special way of doing it, and then she told me she did steel pan.
Yep. So it's a rotation of activities. So the hope is that they will have an opportunity to touch everything and just have a different experience. And then in the spring, we're looking to just switch it up a little bit. I know they'll be doing drumming all year, but we're looking to see what we can incorporate in the spring. So there's actually a consultant here, Mr. Wise, who has his own like STEM after school programming. So we'll be looking at that to bring that to our school next calendar year, starting in January for the springtime. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you guys.
Yes, so that was something that families really gave feedback on when I first transitioned into the school, and we wanted to make sure that that was something that we can incorporate into the program. So this is definitely the first, time. So any feedback just to make the program stronger, we will definitely take from families. Mr. Chase is working to see how kids are feeling, so that we can enhance it when we are planning for next school year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. How are the experiences like in class? How are you feeling about just the overall student experience, your experience, with different teachers. How's it going?
For me, it's okay. I mean, we communicate via email.
Okay, with Ms. Roberts and Ms. Dotson. Okay.
And they've been responsive as well. There was like a little hiccup when it came to, because I had to take him to the urgent care because of the incident that was here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just reached out to him, no excuses for work real quick.
Yep.
But it's just a mishap, but it got covered and like, it's been well. The communication is well. Ms. Roberts called me to just inform me about my thing was what I said what he needs to work on, which I appreciate because I didn't really know what to focus on. I didn't know. I was just trying to support him based off of homework. So I didn't really know what to focus on.
Okay. For families who are joining online, the first question was just regarding after school and getting more information about the curriculum and the activities and the programming after school. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. Reaching out and letting me know like what to focus on with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what to work on at home.
That feels good.
Yeah.
And Nathaniel's acclimating well into kindergarten at the school.
I think so. I mean,
That's
he's
good.
not saying anything negative. I mean, I asked him about his day, I asked him what he learned today and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still in the I don't know mode, so I'm like, okay. But I could tell that he's learning.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell he's progressing compared to, when he came from 4K and 3K.
Mm-hmm.
My only thing is that, the services part.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, charter school operates a little differently than DOE and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to battle with getting him the services that he needs.
Okay, so I can follow up with Ms. Bob, or have you been in contact with Ms. Bob yet regarding the services? Okay.
But, she told me that he can't get it until he turns 5. And that's not.
Okay, we can have a conversation offline with so I can learn a little bit more, and then we can figure out how we can fix that if we can. What about Kasaya's experience? How's everything going with Kasaya?
Like I said, for them at this age, it's hard for them to tell you exactly what they learned because, as you say, some days they can tell you everything down to the T, and then some days she's like, I can't remember. But it's just like I pay attention to her vocabulary when she's doing her homework and stuff at home. Like, she's very good at sounding things out. Like, she could read all the sight words, and when it comes to spelling them, I'm like, you have to learn how to spell them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she wrote chicken. She spelled it CHIKIN. She sounded it out good, but it's just the process how to spell correctly.
Right.
So she's developing well. I'm pleased with her progress.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
She's sounding things out. It might be a little wrong, but it's not off. Like rice, I-S-E, instead of C-E, things like that. So just to work on her. But so far, I'm fine with everything on her.
Okay.
I listen to her vocabulary and just pay attention to everything. It's fine.
That's amazing. Hello. Are there any areas that we can be doing better in? Any areas of growth or opportunity for us to just enhance the things that are happening at the school right now?
There's so much you can do with so many kids. I don't really have any complaints.
Okay. Feel good about the communication?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it every day. Sit down and take a few minutes to, go through, but it's helpful because then you can see, I go over it, because sometimes she doesn't want to go over her homework in the night. I'm like, you have to, your school sends a memo, because sometimes with the parents versus teachers, they're a little bit better with their teacher. I'm like, you gotta go over your homework with me, the school sends a memo, so she's more receptive to it. She's like, I did it already. But then sometimes I have to go over with her because, like I said, the chicken, the rice, there's certain little things that she needs to improve on and just extra help, as you guys said in the email.
like you have to review a little bit more than what you do at school. So
Mhm.
I know that.
Okay. All right. Any questions about the events that are coming up?
So on Friday the 6th, they all could wear pink.
Yes, for breast cancer awareness. Then we are doing, we're planning to go to the walk.
Kids
So
can go or like.
we're in the process of ensuring that we can provide transportation. So Mr. Parker's working on that right now, but we do plan on getting a bus. So that information is coming out shortly, so that we can just go as a community for folks who need transportation. I know I'm gonna need it because I live in Connecticut, so we will be coordinating that, and yeah, I'm really excited about that.
What else is coming up?
Let's see.
I think it's like Spirit Week,
Mm-hmm.
the end of.
We so I will put, for folks who are online, I'll put the calendar in the chat as well. But we do have Spirit Week coming up at the end of the month. For scholars who have perfect attendance, there's like a paint and juice activity that we'll be providing, the breast cancer walk. There's a half day on the 26th as teachers prepare for staff development day. And then there's no school that Friday on the 27th. And then, Spirit Week is from October 30th to November 3rd. So that last week of October going into November. And that's it for right now. And we are going to prepare for November. Mm-hmm.
Will maybe the data about all the preliminary testing be shared?
Yes. So we're wrapping up the beginning of year assessments for iReady and MAP, and then each of those digital assessments. Good morning. Those come with like camera reports, so you'll be able to see how your scholars are performing in the different areas, and then the skills. Yep, we're gonna send those reports home. So we have about 90% completion for iReady, the diagnostic test that helps us just figure out small group assignments for scholars, and then MAP is for ELA and math. And then that just helps us figure out how we need to either differentiate our instruction, tweak our coaching as a leadership team to support the planning for teachers, and looking at and analyzing student data. So those reports I would anticipate coming home maybe like the second week of October. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? That's a great question. I can make sure that we add that in the memo next week with an actual date.
And you use the data to, like you said, to figure out how to better support the kids.
Yes.
If they need, I guess like alternate. I don't want to say alternate, but.
So we have, so we use the iReady assessments for intervention. We have an actual intervention block. So we're able to plan intentionally using the iReady assessments. And then MAP it just helps us see where we are nationally. Good morning. You can feel free to join. Y'all can also get some food if you want as well. To help us see where we are just like nationally, but then also thinking about our curriculum specifically and like how we just plan internally with teachers. So every week teachers come together to have like a planning meeting or a department meeting and just talk about what we're seeing in instruction and what we need to do to differentiate for next week or tweak. We also have small groups. So there's a teacher who pulls a subset of students, like 6 to 8 students throughout the lessons, specifically for math and ELA. So that their instruction is a little bit more tailored. So students rotate through that based off the data. I want to say between like a 5 to 6 week cycle.
And when does science start?
So science in lower elementary is alternating just because our schedule is so tight. We have a unit of humanities, and then they have a unit of science, and then they have a unit of humanities. And then in upper elementary, we have the representative from FOSS coming in next week, but they start preparing for their intro to science next week on Monday. Okay, so folks have questions online regarding homework and after school, and then access to the weekly report on Dean's List. Yes, so Dean's List, I will work my way backwards. Dean's List, yes, parents should have access to Dean's List. There's a code that needs to be sent, so Mr. Frith, I can make sure that Mr. Payne reaches out to you so that you have your unique access code to sign up and receive the reports. As it pertains, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, how are you? And you're here for Read Aloud, right, as well? Awesome. For homework help, as it pertains to homework help after school, there's only a block of time for students to complete their homework and have support with their homework, and then they rotate to either their creative activity, depending on what the day is. So after school, I want to say there's about 30 minutes allotted to homework. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I can definitely follow up and ensure that communication is sent out to families and to connect with Mr. Chase. I'm talking to the computer. I'm live on YouTube. You were like, who is she talking to?
Dean's List, if you have access to it, are the reports being uploaded? Because when I log on, I don't see any.
Really? Okay.
It's blank for me.
No, I see the report.
You see the report?
I thought that we communicate with them, but it's just the report, right?
There's an option to communicate as well. Let me just take notes, and I'll have Mr. Payne come in actually right now to answer the question.
I haven't seen anything. Do you see like the login page? No. And I'm not able to log in on the app for some reason. This is what I see.
So you use the validation code that you received for back to school night, and this is okay. So
Yeah, this is what I have. That's what I get.
oh, this is what you get, and you're looking to communicate, like send messages the way we did on Class Dojo. Okay. So you don't see anything like this, a report like that?
Even
Okay.
when I click reports, this is what comes up, just this.
Well, if you
Awesome.
tap it, this is gonna open up.
Yeah, so I tap it and.
This should open up.
Yeah, it is just.
Yeah, that's it. That's what
Okay.
I'm seeing.
All
There's
right.
nothing on the bulletin.
Yeah.
That's why I go back to the parent portal to see what you guys are updating.
On the itself.
Every time I try to log into the app itself,
It doesn't work. I just asked Mr. Payne to come.
It'll send me to the website and it'll open up that same page. But if I put in my credentials in the app, it doesn't open. It'll say invalid.
Invalid, like credentials, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. All right. Awesome.
But we received a printout, but I
Every week. Yep.
So
The
I
printout
got
goes home every
one.
Thursday.
I know this.
I got one.
Yeah, I got the.
And the one that I got
very first
covered
one.
3 weeks. And since then, I
Mhm.
got that.
Got it. That is great to know. So I'll work to ensure that those are coming home weekly. What's going well with Johan, or any things to raise the bar? Let's talk about what's going great first.
No, I was gonna ask about the busing thing.
Mhm.
You said that we could call Department of Education. to find
Say
out.
more.
Cause we were trying to see,
To get a bus, there's no, where we live at, we noticed that there's no designated location for the bus to come.
Mm-hmm.
So the bus is like, I would say across town.
Good morning.
The location that you guys have is like more towards like going further, like Canarsie going down, and we're like behind like IHOP that are like we're in Bergen Beach area. So finding like a spot for them to do pick up and drop off for kids in that area. It's
Okay.
been difficult.
Yeah, Canarsie is home
For busing, okay.
I just don't like the unpredictability of the busing time. Cause I know, with traffic and stuff, the bus can be late or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was sitting there for like an hour and a half waiting.
Wow.
So
Good morning. We're talking about busing, Mr. Parker.
So it's just like, for me personally, it's like to kind of narrow down a better time, because now, like, if I'm not able to pick him up and I'm sending somebody else, like a babysitter or something like that,
Right.
I can't have a babysitter standing up outside for 2 hours, especially when it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
So I would prefer if it's like more narrowed down time, like or at least maybe a contact person where they could say like, okay, the bus is a half an hour away, or maybe come at like 5 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock.
So it's not, I thought it was like a set time that you're supposed to be there for the drop off and pick up. That's not how it works.
The time that they provide is approximate, not exact,
Mm.
and it depends on the traffic conditions. To answer the latter part, around someone contacting guys, Monday our bus matrons will be back on. OPT had to approve it. That usually takes them the first few weeks of school to do. So if you had Miss Wanda previously, she'll be back on Monday. Miss Walker will also be back on Monday. Our two largest buses, and they usually let families know if it's delayed, if we left the school late, or something along their route.
Yeah, but you said you was starting off with an hour and a half.
Yeah, because so I tried to time it myself because he's on the latter end of the bus route. So I know traffic in that area is bad, and whether you have to wait for parents or whatever. So I get it; it's gonna take a little while. So if I'm guessing he got on the bus at 3 o'clock because that's the time they called me, and then I gave it like a different Ace.
Door to door.
It no, it was Livonia. I'm sorry, Georgia Avenue and bus stop. But he's like at the.
Who called?
No, they called when he got on the bus. The school called when he got on the
Okay.
bus.
We also send out like the parent square messaging as well, so that you all know when the buses leave the school.
Yeah, so I knew when he got on the bus. So I tried to time it like, okay, let me give it like an hour and a half. So I didn't get to the bus stop until like 5, but the bus like took like an hour and a half to get there. And when my sister picked him up, it was the same thing. They told me like 12:45, and she was there till 2 o'clock. So, which is fine if he is being dropped off at 2 o'clock. That's fine because I live 5 minutes away from the bus stop. So if it's 2 o'clock, that's fine. I'll just get there at 2 instead. But my concern is that if I send a babysitter to like get him, I'm hiring them from 2 o'clock, but then they're really not picking him up till 5, and now I'm paying extra hours, and she's waiting there.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that? They're gonna be
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm not doing this job no more.
So I know what we can do. So the morning stops will stay pretty accurate. The times that it says it's going to pick up.
Okay.
So the afternoon stops, I'll have TK push out a survey to each of the bus groups to let us know what time the bus has actually been getting to your stop, so that way we can adjust the times.
Okay.
Because the times that we have is what they provided us.
In the morning, what time do they pick them up?
It depends on the bus stops. I know some of
The
them,
route they have different
it's
times.
not a set time for everybody.
But even that I was concerned about because I haven't put him on the bus in the morning for that reason, because I have to be at work for 8:30. So I'm like, I don't want to go to drop him at the bus stop, and then the bus takes 2 hours, and now I'm waiting for it when I could have just dropped him to it.
So what time do the kids that are on the bus normally get to this building? What time are they getting?
Between 7:20, 7:45.
Okay. Before 8, okay.
Mm-hmm. Can you ask Mr. Parker your question? I try to capture, but I don't remember like the
No,
accuracy.
so I noticed that where we live at, there's no like pickup bus route. When I came here, they had showed me like a list, and there's like no buses that go in our route. For me to apply for the bus, I have to like, I live in Bergen Beach, so for me to apply, I have to walk across from where I'm at, and that's like 6 blocks probably to get to the other side, just for them to wait for the bus to get there. So she told me that you can contact the Board of Ed and just let them know to add a route.
So we have to request that stop. And
Yeah.
it's up to them to approve it or not.
Yeah,
based
so-
on their route.
So you guys have to request it? So can you guys put in a request for it?
So
I mean,
send an email to let us know what route is closer to you.
oh, I have to decide that. It doesn't matter, I just want it to be within that area. Like,
Good morning. How are you?
So you guys have a
Good.
route with 56 and
I can
Flatland,
grab
right?
this chair right there.
So my house, I'm on 72nd Road. So for me to get to 56 and Flatland, that's crossing over to like the division between Round Avenue and like Old Mill Basin, Big Mill Basin area, and then the division between that and like Georgetown or the beach area. So it doesn't even make any sense for him to go over there. That's why I just take the bus, because it's quicker with the bus, but you know, the bus has issues or whatever. But there are kids in Ivy Hill that are on our side. So I'm like, why the
What
parents?
stop are they going to?
But no, they either get on the bus or they get a ride. So I don't think they thought, I guess nobody thought to say, oh, why don't we put a bus route in that area too, because they could benefit off of it. We see kids in that neighborhood that, I'm like, oh, so why didn't you ask?
We'll put in those.
Yeah, I'll
There's
send-
multiple families that would like to approve it.
Over there,
Yeah,
right?
if it's
Yeah.
more than just one.
Good morning. Where's your scholar? I'm Miss Coleman. Oh, okay, awesome. Oh, hi. How are you? How's everything with Christian?
Great.
Great. Awesome. Any questions? Any ways we can get better? Any suggestions?
The only complaint his father had last night is he said, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, when he goes to the after school, they don't really go over the homework or complete it, or
Mhm.
kind of tell him, you know, help him with his homework, is what he said.
Okay. We can follow up. Let me add those notes in here.
Question,
Yes.
in the kindergarten class, are the kids just, in charge of like keeping track of their own stuff? Or
It's like a gradual release to teach them independence, but say more.
so in terms of like, as it's getting colder with like jackets and sweaters and things like that, are they in charge of like putting it in the locker, do they put it in the book bag?
They put it in their locker. I can show you what the locker inside the locker looks like, but it has a hook. They put their book back in. They know how to hang up their coat. But there are teachers in the hallways posted to support them if they need it. But
Okay, so Ace is just not doing that. Because,
with other kids.
yeah, 'cause
oh
when I-
really?
When I picked him up,
okay.
so when I was picking him up yesterday, I saw he had on a different sweater, and I was like, "Whose sweater is this?" Because I certainly did not buy this. And good thing the child's name was written inside, and then eventually I found the sweater. So we did kind of have a conversation between Jason and I about putting his stuff like in one place. Because when I say literally, his stuff was all over the room. Like his lunchbox was one place, his water bottle, his book bag, his sweater, everything was just all over the room, even the homework. And I was like, what is going on here? So we had that conversation, but I was just kind of like worried about like him losing like scarves and hats and things like that. So if it's that they do have access and go back and forth to the locker.
Well, they go to the locker in the morning and then they go to class and they
Okay.
take their homework folder, their lunch box, or their snack. They put it in the bin. Their bin's in the classroom, and then they don't go to the locker for the rest of the day. So
Which is fine, but
Okay.
like after, he stays for
after school.
So like
okay.
at pickup time,
His
is it
stuff
that
is
they
probably-
pick up?
They leave
Their
their stuff in
stuff.
the class because they're in a different class. Well, he's in his class, but some students might not be in their class next to their locker, so they bring their things with them to after school.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is we just need to make sure that we are ensuring that scholars have their things together and
Right.
after school.
Because I tell him put everything in his book bag.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's hanging it up in the locker and then taking it out for after school, I can get why he's all over the place.
Yes, so yep, they follow the regular dismissal protocol because they go to a different room, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Parker, for snack, and then they transition to another room. So there's lots of different moving pieces to get them into their after-school classroom.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
I've missed a couple of the meetings. First is, The academics as far as we go, well, not the academics, how about, remember when we spoke about like the uniforms and like weather condition based? I noticed that this year we're still with the same, and like, because he wears khaki, when you wash it, it does not look appealing anymore. It has like a dingy look, like whether they were running or like whatever you guys do in the class of school with them. So like when it would be, whether it's like this, like if it's raining, for them to wear like a sweatsuit instead of wearing like the khakis, the actual green and khaki pants. Maybe they could wear like hoodie and a sweat. Remember we spoke about that last
Mhm.
year? So I wanted to know where everything was at with that, or is it just gonna stay the way that it is now?
For right now, I think they're just trying to find the balance of affordability for the uniform because our vendor is really expensive. We've received that feedback, student style. So I just, Mr. Brock and I can have that conversation. But that's why we also incorporated the black this year to give the option of khaki or black because of.
Oh, they can wear black.
Mhm.
Well,
Yep.
that's news to me. Thank you
I
for
didn't
that
know
one.
that.
Mhm.
So they can wear black cargo pants.
Black or khaki. Yep. We have black. We have uniform in house. Mhm.
I have literally bought pants for him like every week. Since
Oh
he
no,
started.
we incorporated
Because
black
he's,
for
like,
that
riding on
reason.
his pants.
Yeah, because those
And it doesn't
pants-
come
Oh,
out. It looks
no.
so
Like,
dirty.
those pants are so light, so once you wash them, they don't look,
They don't.
they just don't look like scholars when they're coming to school. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, maybe on the days that they have gym or Kyo, you know, have Kiyoshi or whoever else, that they can wear those like sweatsuits with the little Ivy Hill, you know, just
Right.
or t-shirt. or t-shirt.
Well, we don't offer gym. We have martial arts in place of it, but they're able to put their uniform pants on. So there is an opportunity to change into the gi when they get to martial arts. So yeah, and then in art they have their smocks now. So hopefully it's like
Those are just dirty.
cover.
Little boys are just always like, I pick him up. I'm like, do you not wash your face? He's like, oh, mommy, there's no mirror in the bathroom. I'm like, okay,
There's a mirror in the bathroom.
no,
There's a mirror in the
there is.
bathroom. Yes.
He's like, I'm like, do you not look in the mirror and see your face? It's so dirty.
Yeah.
If you're in a charter school, I want you to look a little bit more sharp, clean, neat. So that's why I said that, like, maybe they should have you guys wear Monday through Friday, green and khaki, Monday through Friday. He's like, Mommy, we have to wear black shoes all, I said, I'm fine with that. I just want the uniform to kind of fluctuate on the days that you seem to get dirtiest the most.
Is martial arts every
Yes.
Oh,
It's Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday.
But
It
depends on who-
rotates.
Yeah, the kids don't.
They have group A, group B. They take martial arts every trimester, but they rotate dance, theater, or art. So that's consistent in the electives. Any other thoughts, questions, wonderings, suggestions?
So yesterday I had a very lengthy conversation with Mr. Payne.
Oh yes, he told me you were coming in today. We're gonna chat.
Yeah.
We can chat after this. Yes.
So we did talk. One thing we did talk about was having more interactive things for the kindergarten class. Just because it's a lot of sit down paperwork. And as we know, our 4 and 5 year olds can get really bored really quickly, and I think it does to some extent contribute to them misbehaving sometimes. So that's one concern for me, is that he, particularly my son, is a handful sometimes and needs to be stimulated with more interactive things.
Yes.
So.
We just ordered new furniture from Lakeshore to literally redesign the kindergarten classroom because we did realize, and Ms. Odom gave us some suggestions that it's just not like kindergarten friendly in terms of just like the environment. So we are literally like redesign it in the kindergarten classroom. And myself, Mr. Payne, Miss Odom are going to kind of like do a visit, take a visit to different 3K classrooms just to see how we can incorporate some of those different strategies for, our 4-year-olds turning 5, just to make sure that they're acclimating and their transition is a little bit more seamless into kindergarten. So that is something that we're working on. I think this is the first year that we've had, good morning, so many different, a large number of 4-year-olds who are transitioning into 5th grade. So we want to ensure that we're doing something a little different and responding to that. So that is in the works.
And in terms of the curriculum, the work itself
Mhm.
that they're doing, I'm not exactly sure how the class runs, like if it's like sending, I know it's 2 teachers, but you could enlighten me a little bit on like how the class actually functions logistically, because some of the work that I saw that he had yesterday in his bag, some of it seemed normal, but then some of it I was like, there's no way. I mean, Ace is smart, but he's not like a genius. Like, there's no way he can sit down and do this work independently.
Okay, we can talk more so I can see what you see, and then I think I need a little bit. I need a little bit more information, and then we can. Right now, to respond to the bigger question, we have a co-teacher model. So it's like team teaching. So they are like just supporting one another, but also teaching the same thing, and like kind of like splitting the class, similar to parallel teaching, or like a combination of that model to support the scholars. So just like dividing and conquering, and then coming back together, dividing and conquering, coming back together. Our reading groups, both teachers have a small group, and then the third group is they're working on something independently. So that could be reading a book on Epic on the computer, doing handwriting, depending on what they need work in. So it's tailored to the needs of the student, and then they rotate. So that happens for about 90 minutes. 30 minutes with phonics, 30 minutes in guided reading, 30 minutes independent work time, depending on what you need to work on.
So Ms. Coleman, that's what I wanted to ask you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Penmanship. I noticed that not just here, just school in general has seemed to like remove that curriculum for students to work on handwriting, writing script, and usually that starts at the age when you're first going into second, and then in second they give you like, well, when I was growing up, they gave you the book and you have to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't do that.
We have handwriting books for scholars in K1, but we can look into getting the cursive handbook.
Yeah, do they offer that? They don't, you guys don't do that.
But it's nothing we can incorporate it some way.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
I think the way
They
he
don't
writes,
know if it's-
he's like all over. I'm like, don't they teach you in class how to put your name and put it together? And it's just the J is this way, the H is this way.
I can take note of that as well.
I'm like, why did they remove that? Because back in our school, you had to sit down, learn how to put, and you had to, when you got to second grade, you learn how to do script.
Yes.
Yeah, and he said, Mommy, when you were in school, my teacher said when they were in school, they used to get beat. I said, yeah, the teachers used to give us. He said, but they're not our parents. I said, our parents trust us that much with the teachers.
I mean, the laws have changed, so
I think they removed cursive in, like, I know adults that cannot write in script.
I used to
And
love
because they
writing.
didn't learn it. I think they removed that from the curriculum as well. Like,
I
my
know.
16-year-old brother, he cannot write in
That's
script.
interesting. Well, for kindergarten and first grade specifically, we have a handwriting block, and we have handwriting books that they are able to trace in and like build their skills. So
They said it wasn't necessary.
Right. Like,
No, it's very.
the last
No,
people
we
you
can.
try to sign their name and they're writing their name.
When you said,
Mm.
Mommy, I signed my name and you have to sign it. I said, you actually wrote your name. Like, you should know how to, even at 2, even in second grade, you should still know how to do something.
You gotta remember, signature is tailored to each person individually.
Yes.
And as he grows, you gotta
Continue.
figure out his
His own
ways on
niche,
his.
yeah.
Now, if you're not learning signature, you're just writing your name in a block. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, they sign and it's just, you're just writing your name. The same thing in print.
And that's how he doesn't know the difference between print and sign. I'm telling you that because I work in the medical field. They tell a person, print your name here and sign right here. They print here and print here. You don't know
Yes.
the difference.
Old school ways.
Yeah, that's why we have to go back to basic.
I hate those new school
We
stuff.
really,
You don't
yeah, we have to
understand
go
how
back
much
to the
I hate it.
basics because I'm telling you, they get, even when I talk to them, certain things that I say, I realize that sometimes I'll be like, it's not literal, you know, like you can't take it for what I'm saying. It's like, what? I'm just like, forget it. But when I was his age, I understood. When my mom spoke to me, even though I still understood it, they don't, it's like they're getting more lost.
It's less distractions than more distractions now.
What about learning a second language?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the Spanish one,
In elementary?
Well, I had French.
Wow.
yeah.
In the public school, yeah.
We can see.
But that was like when you were like third or fourth grade, because Gianna took it too, third, fourth graders, usually third,
I
fourth.
feel like kindergarten should have.
They had to,
That's a great suggestion. We can look into it.
Music.
And this is the only thing I was gonna ask.
Music.
I noticed as Ivy Hill is growing, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, you guys have more kids. But how come you guys don't take kids for like a junior pre-K program where they come in younger and just grow with this?
We have to get that approved by the state. So that probably, well, it's not something we thought about for this year, applying for the charter renewal. We would have to wait until not this school year, next school year. So we are in the process of reapplying for our charter. So I haven't made any changes like that for right now, because I just want to focus on making sure we can have at least 2 to 5 more years with the state. It is something that we thought about, but that's also,
Require more space too, right?
that's more space, just different credentials and certifications and things that,
Finding a school for the other one is hard.
maybe a joint program where you work with the other pre-K people and you guys are kind of on the same curriculum, so it's like you're joining in.
that is a great idea.
Ravens,
What school?
Ravens,
Ravens.
97 and Glenwood at the corner.
I think, where is it, 90-something in Glenwood?
I was,
Can I just understand the
I think
topics?
that's true.
Just have a conversation, what's going well, things that we can continue to replicate, and then either suggestions, questions, feedback.
Okay.
What's going well with Ezra?
In particular to him, not really there yet as far as training go. I kind of had this one thing in my mind. It's really mindful, but the time. I'm aware that it's from 7:30 to 7:50,
Mm-hmm. For Bible?
just to open up for the kids to come into the school,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that there's like a 20-minute gap from 7:30 to 7:50 for them to not be late, right? So that's accounting for the colder times. Now that it's raining, now that it's gonna be snowing outside and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Can that gap be widened at least from 7:30 to 8 o'clock? Is that possible? Right? Because I know during like the September, October, when it's a lot more nicer outside, the kids line up.
Mm-hmm.
Some parents are comfortable just like leaving them there. Hey, follow this. When the doors are open, go inside. Some parents stay outside. For those parents who cannot stay outside, and for those parents who aren't that confident with their scholar just standing outside, while the school door is waiting to be open, is it something we can even widen the gap from 7:30 to 8 o'clock?
For the arrival time
For the
or
arrival
for
time,
having,
Just for
okay,
entry.
okay.
If not, maybe breakfast, or not breakfast, but just so that they can come inside in the morning. Just that safety measure, right? So two things at hand. One, can we widen the gap from 7:30 to 8 o'clock?
Okay.
Right? That way it's not a 7:30 to 7:50, where it's like a 20-minute time frame. And then after 7:50, they're marked late. Because it is going on their attendance, right? They may not be absent, but they are considered late. Right? Which can be, I'm not sure if it's an issue, but it's just there.
You won't get that perfect attendance.
You won't get the perfect attendance. You may not get a treat. You may feel left out.
Mm-hmm.
Or what have you. Like I said, it is a minor issue. It's just something that's on my mind where it's just like, the 20-minute gap.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's very small. It can be opened up maybe 10 more minutes.
Okay.
If that's a
But
possibility.
is there a reason to why you guys aren't like offering us like entrance in at 7 a.m. Like, okay, 7 a.m. they can go into the cafeteria, sit down, have breakfast. Like, pretty much, my brain is like, when I used to go to school, 7 o'clock, the school is open, you could go in, you have your breakfast, you sit down at the cafeteria, and students get to talk and lollygag, and then the teachers come down, and everybody lines up and goes upstairs. And proceeds to
Or if
class.
they had like a schoolyard where it's just like,
Yeah,
you guys
where
come
you
into
get
this
to-
premises, we'll lock the doors and you guys stay here until 7:50 or until 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then you can go to the
Yeah.
auditorium or go upstairs, what have you. Now, I understand, there's a parking lot, maybe not an auditorium. So can that gap be widened?
So thinking about instructional minutes, our schedule is very calculated.
Okay.
So we are following instructional minutes that are outlined in our charter that we have to adhere to. So when the state visits or pops by, like they also have our schedule, so we have to, yes. Yep, so there are a certain number of minutes for reading and for math that we are bound to, and then everything else happens after. So when we create the schedule, it is following.
From doors open to
yep.
every curriculum to
Yes.
the closing.
Mhm. So with the schedule shift during COVID, because before it was from 7:30 to 4:30, I believe, or 4:15. With COVID happening, the schedule was shifted and the day ended earlier. So we just kept that schedule, which makes everything else a little bit more tight. That is the reason why students actually have breakfast in the classroom, to minimize the transition time, and that time
But
goes
we're
to
past COVID, at least
something
almost
else.
2 years.
And
Is there
that
a
has to be
switch back?
approved through the state. So there's a process to actually like change the schedule back to what it was, and that has to go through the state, and that is a
I'm
process.
just here to raise the question.
No, that's fine,
Yeah.
and I'm here to answer it. That is just a process,
Right.
like literally a process that is little.
Gotcha.
So you guys open up at 7:30, no matter what, even if the kids are here early, they can't go into the building, wait in the building due to weather conditions. or
No, once it's
something.
7:30, from my understanding, the doors are open.
The doors are
People
open
are
from
here.
7:15 to 7:30. It's a safety concern. Teachers are coming in, they're not watching students, they're prepping for the class, so.
And anything happens, we gotta give, the teachers already work hard. Think about yourself as a teacher, you coming in at 7:30, you gotta
So
come
what
in
if we have
earlier.
parents?
Wait, but I'll say something. It's like the kids now, if something happens, everybody's gonna be like, oh,
Mhm.
nobody's supervising our kids, and then it's gonna be an accountability on them. I get it, everybody wants their kids to come early, because it's a hassle for me too, and I have a younger kid, but the way the world is now, if something happens, kids get into a fight, something happens, who is there watching them, who's gonna be accountable, and then we have problems with the teachers, and the kids have issues too.
Right,
So it's
but
hard for
as
everyone.
you say that, and I'll stop so that others can speak, but as you say that, that's the same concern, right? That same ideology is the same thing from 7 to 7:30. Not sure if you're aware, but there are kids lined up outside.
Mhm.
Literally, no one's watching them, outside of like the individual parents, right?
My
So,
daughter, I managed to understand.
Yeah, so that's why we encourage families though not to leave students unattended, because teachers and Ivy Hill Prep, we are not responsible for students until we open up our doors, and it's really hard to ask teachers when they already have a long day to watch students if they're not prepared for,
So how
that's
about
understood,
day.
but there's also a security guard.
parents to
So
volunteer
maybe
to
something
do that part?
the security guard
Maybe
is,
that may not be their
that-
description.
that's
I've
not,
seen that.
not before.
Those are
What we did last year though,
actual
we did
designated
ask a teacher to volunteer to take kids inside, but again, like that was on a volunteer, like, would you be able to, are you interested in? And if teachers are like, yeah, I'll do it, then we're able to provide that. We did get feedback last year, especially as the cold weather months came, and we were able to incorporate that. And that is something that's on my mind, especially thinking about today and making sure that we're able to bring students in. But again, it's something we're trying to figure out. It's not a part of our academic program right now.
They can rotate the responsibility.
Yeah, like just get parents to volunteer, because at
Mhm.
the end of the day, realistically, you can't have to be to work at 9 and your doors don't open until 7:30. Like, how much time of traveling can I have to make it to work and still stand on
In
line?
traffic, and
It doesn't make
MTA,
any
yeah.
sense, it has to make
That's just
sense
like
to
literally
the
everything.
parents.
We can put a survey out in the next memo. Mhm.
Every day.
Yep.
volunteering and that you guys are clear, that the school knows that this person is sitting there outside with the kids every morning. Cause that's
a good idea.
That
We went the same
is,
way. We came, we stood there at
we
7
need
o'clock waiting
families
for the
who
bus.
are going
Yeah.
to participate. We can.
Down.
Mm-hmm.
Junior stuff is staying outside. They did not let us do that.
Okay, so we,
Said you looked on Jordan, you want something for talking about villages and things, I do live not far from you, so I wouldn't mind helping out. So, you know, like pick a day and I'll be consistent.
We can definitely exchange information.
that's amazing. Okay, so I'm taking notes so I can plan with Mr. Parker later. So we will send out a survey to see if there are designated parents who would love to just rotate. That's a process just in terms of fingerprinting, et cetera. So we can, yep, that's also, that's important, right?
Upset. She was like, I ain't watching these kids no more. They don't listen.
And if you
I
look
was
at
like,
how some
oh,
people
my
talk to their
goodness.
own kids, you
Yeah.
want them
Yeah,
talking to
to
your
your
kid like
kid.
that.
Mhm.
So that's another issue too. It's like trusted issue.
So we can figure out like what the system for that will look like.
I don't really have an issue with the morning.
It's the afternoon.
Personally. But maybe for like the weather conditions, kind of, adjusting a couple minutes because the weather comes traffic.
Mhm.
So just adjusting, so that at 7:50 we not mark late, like a little couple extra minutes to get there. You know what I'm saying?
So do you guys have an actual plan, like when those weather conditions happen where we can't come in so that the kids don't have to lose out on school days?
When, can
Like
you,
if it's a storm and we get the notice, okay, instead of it being closed, because if we could stay at home and do virtual on the days that was COVID, why not on the days that the weather doesn't permit?
we have to follow the district. So whatever the district says, we
Which
follow.
is what normally to just not have any school at all.
Whatever the district says, we have to follow. I know virtual learning is no longer an option unless there are extenuating circumstances. So I'm not, that's not,
So that they don't offer that at all anymore.
Wait, it's completely removed.
it's not removed, but there, you have to be approved
It has to be like
to do
crisis
it. Like it
measures,
has
like
to be,
COVID,
yeah,
okay.
they tell us when we can have virtual learning or they let us know when we are closed. Like we follow whatever the district does. We have some leeway, but unless, like last year, February 3rd, we closed the building because of the heat or like the pipe burst, right? Like we can do that, but there are a certain number of days where we can close the school for emergencies without having to, one, make the days up in the calendar. And then two, we can't just say like, because of the weather, we're gonna do virtual learning. That is,
No, not because of the rain.
I'm just saying just in general. So unless the district says this is what's happening and you have an option to go virtual, then no. Mm-mm. Like I know in Connecticut, we can't do it at all, so.
I think a PTA would be good, or at least classroom. I know where Nathaniel came from. He had classroom parents.
Last year I tried to launch that. I think I was a little ambitious, so I just wrote that down to see how we could like really launch that this year. That was the goal and the hope of last year, but class parents, just for parents who you're attached to the class to just help fundraise, help, with little tasks around the building, events and different things of that nature.
Can it start from after school? Because I was in the process of volunteering.
Oh, really?
I was able to pick up, yeah.
Oh, okay. Say more. What do you mean? Like to volunteer with after school? Like to be in the classroom? Oh,
Like,
class
and that
parents.
start, just like you're learning the kid, learning
Mm-hmm.
to others as you pick up different things throughout the year. Be like watching someone or like a drive to school or a school event.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can know Timmy from Susan later on without, you know what I'm saying? Just more from like an awareness. Yeah.
I wrote that down.
Question.
Yes.
Why don't you guys have a crossing guard at school zone?
Because this is.
That was on my agenda when I first got here.
When I first asked
There's a
that
shortage.
question 2 years ago, they said due to the area,
Mm-hmm.
they're not allowed to have it.
Yep.
That's what I was told, because before this,
You were
it was way
complaining.
worse than this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first year that she came in, it honestly got better. I'll say that. It's nothing like what it was before that. It was way, way worse, like to the point fights broke out during pickup.
During pickup. Mhm.
Yes, during pickup. And I can tell you, I had to curse a couple of parents out during pickup. The things that I saw with my own two eyes, the way parents speed, drive off. So this is like a school. So I know all school areas normally are supposed to have crossing guards in their school, but they said due to the area, like if you look around where the school is at, that's the reason why they don't have crossing
And I
guards.
have Deputy Saliba, the 67th precinct. That was my first thing. I was like, we need a crossing guard.
This is
And
in 67th precinct?
67th
I
precinct.
will be
Mhm.
making a stop at the 67th precinct.
Please do, please
That's all you
do.
can
That
do.
was the
Keep
first.
fighting for it.
That was the first thing that I was like, we don't
You
have
can keep
what?
fighting, 'cause think about it,
Mhm.
it's right here too.
What's
Yep.
the person's name?
His name is Deputy
They
Saliba.
have the police, they actually have the precinct, the police that come to the precinct to escort the students out and make sure that they go home and not linger in the neighborhood.
Yep, that was
That's why they
something
come
that was
out
on my
half an
to
hour
do.
before the
Yep.
school
Because
comes
I
out.
really
When I
have
first
almost-
got
I
here.
haven't been here that long, and I really have seen people almost get kids down. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what is happening here?
Mhm.
Wait
Like,
until
do you
the
not see
summertime.
that there's a school and kids
The way
are
they
coming
speed.
out of cars?
Yep, I asked for a
Do
traffic
not
camera so people can
care
get
if
tickets.
you
Like
hit
I
a
asked
kid?
for everything, and
It's
we.
just the way the area,
Yep.
the fact that there's like industrial stuff around here, like there's no need for a crossing guard.
Mm.
But there's a school here.
There's a school right here,
and
right?
it's like, it just doesn't make any sense, it doesn't add up.
Yep.
Is this area zoned as commercial?
That's a great question. I can
No, I
I
think
can look
so.
into it. I'm not entirely sure.
So the crossing guard issue goes into like a speed camera as well.
I was just trying to find out different options
You're
to
supposed
try to
have-
support
What
the
I heard
efforts to
is
slow
schools
cars
here-
down.
Yeah.
You're
'Cause-
supposed to have a speed bump, and you're supposed to have a sign that lets people know from this time to this time,
It's
the
a
cameras
school.
do
It's a-
record you,
Mhm.
because this is a school, and you'll get a ticket.
And like even the
I'm around nothing but
signs,
that.
even the signs, yep,
All
the street
around
signs,
way,
everything.
Speed bumps, cameras, and.
Commercial.
I'll delete that.
School zones, and I don't see a school in sight.
Commercial zone.
Yeah, that too. That too. That's what I was told, that's the first thing I said. 'Cause I-
Mm-hmm. It's a Catholic school, Catholic high school.
Because they're
But they have a
Catholic.
district school right across the street.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me tell you something.
A
If it was
district school
Jewish
right across the
school,
street.
There would be a speed bump and
Mhm.
crossing guards and everything.
So let's rally together, ask for Deputy Saliba at the 67th precinct and CELIBA.
All them trucks that be coming down here. from
Yeah,
the-
and then you have the buses coming
That's why I
through.
said, that's why they can't get a crossing guard, it's impossible. It's just gonna derail, the traffic will be 10 times worse if you think about it. Right across the street, the bakery, the cars that are going, they're not gonna do it, trust me, you're gonna complain till your face turns blue. It's just us that are here, we just gotta have the common sense to know that we're picking up our kids, maybe start a line somewhere or something, but they're not gonna do it.
Because even the way how the streets are marked,
Even when you tell the parents, don't park in front of here,
Because
this is
from
the
the-
bus
the-
picking up,
the-
like, they don't care,
the
they'll park
one-way
right there,
block
hold up
going
the
into the
space,
two-way
hold it
traffic,
up,
there's
the
no
bus
two-way
gonna have
line.
to curse the parents out.
So when you come through
Mhm.
on Ditmas, there's no two-way line
Mm.
saying that you're going into two-way traffic.
Oh, I mean,
Right, because
Yeah.
when you spin that corner,
you don't know.
you're just coming through. It's a two-way traffic going into
Yeah,
there.
that's why I told you, it's just built on where Ivy Hill comes out from and across from it, you gotta look at it, because of that, or right across from it, they're not gonna do anything. Because after the school hours, it's just regular, and cars literally be flying up and down.
It wasn't like that until the charter school came.
Yeah,
Because
this
I've
was
been
in-
living here all my life. You could just live there and it was just smooth because it
Yeah,
was
it
just Nazareth.
Mhm.
And then when there was a charter school before this one that was here, and that's when the traffic and everything started piling up. Like,
But could the school move the entrance to, from Ditmas to, what's that block, 58?
7.
Oh, on the other side? Wait, sorry, this
This
is
is
58.
57
This
right
is
here.
this is 58 right there,
McDonald's, huh?
right over there. By McDonald's?
Across from McDonald's.
Across from
When
McDonald's?
you come down Ditmas, right, on that one way,
Mhm.
that side street.
Yeah,
No,
To your
but
left.
that's the entrance to Nazareth.
That's Nazareth's entrance.
No, not so far.
About the park?
Before you hit the school.
I don't know. I think I need to.
This
see
whole
it.
thing right
So
here is
there's
Avenue
another-
D. This is
And then-
7.
The block before, not McDonald, not the block on with McDonald's. The
That's
block
Clarendon.
before you hit the school.
The block before you hit the
I'm not
school.
sure. I'm confused.
Because when you come down Ditmas, right?
Right,
It's that one way where it has like one-way traffic and then there's a sign saying you do not enter this way.
Yes.
This block.
That's Nazareth. That's the
Yeah, that's
front
Nazareth,
entrance
yeah.
of Nazareth. And then if you go further down,
That's
there's another
158.
school, that's,
But isn't
Totally.
Nazareth entrance in
But you
the
can't-
side with the park? That's not what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I'm talking about on the other
Right
block.
here on 58, that's another school.
It's another school.
That is
Another school.
there. So there are 3 schools in this building.
Yeah.
There's a daycare on the other side, and then there's Ivy Hill Prep, and then it's Nazareth.
So
So
Ivy
on the
Hill
other
has
side,
their own
there's
entrance.
the entrance for their school. We have our own entrance, and the Nazareth have their own entrance. Birch Family Services Daycare. Mm-hmm.
Nazareth.
Because I'm just thinking in
Nazareth
terms
is the
of
front and the
the way
back.
how
Ivy
the
Hill
parking
goes
lot
to
is and
this
the
side
and the
that
gates.
other side.
Yep.
So you know when they do
Entrance
rain
and
dismissal
that
and you go up
Bible
through
street
this side and you come out through the other side, if it was the other way around, where you go in, where the dumpsters are, if you're going through that door.
That is Nazareth's
That's
entrance.
still-
We don't
yeah.
have that. We don't have access
They
to
don't,
that.
technically, you
They-
don't have this.
We only
entrance
have
right
these
here.
2 doors. We only have access to these 2 doors. We don't
No,
have.
but that's what I'm talking about.
You mean
the-
this
the
entrance
other
right
door.
here, where you come
The door that we come out of.
Oh,
Instead of coming out of that door, you go in through that door, which means you would enter through the gate on where the dumpsters
where
are.
the gate is right there.
The
That.
parking.
So when you pull
Oh.
up, you wouldn't be pulling up on Ditmas, you would be pulling up on that side
On
block
58.
and then going down this way towards Ditmas.
I think that would cause traffic on that one side.
I mean,
I would- and I
it's gonna
think-
cause traffic.
I mean, yeah, I would.
I feel like no matter what you do, it's gonna cause
Cause
traffic.
traffic.
But it might be a little bit safer because the crossing would happen on that block versus the one with the buses and all of that.
It's gonna cause traffic because that other school that's across the street and then the McDonald's.
And
That
it's-
lane is going to
Yeah, it's
McDonald's
too
block.
narrow.
I feel like this whole area would cause traffic. It takes me like 15 minutes to get from Ralph
That's why.
to the school
All the way up by the park.
and then come down 57. I turned on to
You park right there, you come down through this, the
57.
the car wash. You know what?
that's where I come down.
You
You
park
can
right
stay
here,
right
don't,
there, too.
stay right where that school is at,
Yeah.
park right there and just walk down here. That's, because when you leave,
That's
you have the
usually
option
where I
of
come.
smoothly
Yeah.
turning, smoothly going.
But that's the block I'm talking about, where you turn to go back.
Yeah.
When you come down
You
to
get
the
That
blocked
block
in.
you
You
turn
don't
to
get
your
blocked in
side.
right there.
No, you don't get blocked, no, when, you know where the.
Where the car wash is, it's literally a one-way straight.
I
Yeah.
know it's a wet way.
But I'm saying to make the left or right onto 58 going down McDonald's and then Clarendon over.
I don't turn down that way.
So you just go straight.
I go straight, because when I'm going back home, I drive and I go straight. When I get to Kings Highway, I hit the
Oh,
left. and I
that's what I'm
take
saying. You
Kings
don't
Highway.
get because of the two-way traffic and the bus and the double park cars. You don't get like blocked in right there.
Oh, I see a lot of.
I know what you're talking about. I get
That's why I stopped doing it.
Because once you turn on either 57, 58,
Yeah,
you get stuck getting back
right.
towards
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Ralph, like going towards Linda Boulevard.
Mhm.
You get
If
stuck.
you turn down that
This shit's
Donald
looking-
block, you will get, I
That shit
got
is
into
bad.
arguments,
That
I
shit,
got
that shit was
to,
crazy.
listen,
Yeah,
you
that's-
don't turn, yeah, you just don't turn down that way at all.
Mhm.
Like, maybe they should just be.
I don't think it's the issue is not the parents
A
that's
cone.
driving and dropping their
A
kids off.
cone.
I think the issue
Parents
is
park their
people
car
that's just driving.
No, they're responding to what people
So
were
that's
saying.
just-
Yeah, there were
They see this is school.
conversations about homework completion,
Wanna go.
during
They wanna
after
see
school for
around
families
you.
who are
And you might
online.
be with the door open, taking your kid out. I'm
And
sleeping, I'm
Dean's
there
List.
working, and
The
somebody
afternoon
zips around
platform.
me and almost hit a kid in front
So
of me.
families had some questions about Dean's List. What else?
How does that come about with the details?
So you should have received a validation code during back to school night so that you can have access to Ezra's reports.
I know what you're
But
talking
it
about.
seems like there's some
Well, I mean, I
technical
don't
hiccups, so I'm
necessarily
just
have
going
an
to connect with Mr.
Me
Payne.
That's the same thing as the.
You know, because I usually.
And then ensuring that the weekly reports are
Like
going
I
on.
pull
There was
up
a
about where
program
the bus.
that was last
bus-
Zojo.
You know where the
Mhm.
bus stop.
It switched because
Or I'll wait.
there was no way for
I'll
us to
wait
track
till
the points and
somebody
like
pull out.
analyze the
I've never
data.
been in a rush.
It just helps us do a little bit more internally for school culture. That dojo does not. No, that's the only thing. But teachers do have the option to still have their own class dojo to keep it consistent for returning families
So
because
these will be more so
It's
like
sad
student
because it's not until something.
like how we look at our points. Yep. So like we want to incentivize dress down days through the points, and we weren't able to track.
Scale the metric.
So now today we're actually looking at the data as a school to figure out like how we're using the system and things of that nature. But in order for us to have students like earn trips connected to our values and our points, we needed a new system that will allow us to actually pull data. And then you can't look at the reports to see how students are doing on Class Dojo. So I wanted to make sure that there was a platform where like parents are understanding the class experience. And Class Dojo was great, but it just wasn't doing
It wasn't. Speaking about trips, will they be any trips this year?
We're in the planning process. Yes.
Do kindergarten go on trip? Oh Lord.
Yep.
Oh, parents are allowed to go.
Yep, we have parents chaperones.
Awesome. That would.
Yes. And then there were some bus concerns in the chat as well that we were speaking about. So just to update you, the matrons will be on the bus starting Monday. OPT just needed to approve our school bus matrons. Bus matrons.
Is that the person
that's on the bus
signing outside the driver?
Yes, to communicate with families, and just make sure that, behavior and safety and all the things are copacetic, yes. So that's starting on Monday. We just needed approval from the bus company. And then, there were some questions about uniform as well. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just answering your question about what families were saying online.
As you're talking, they're all rolling down, so I'm like,
oh, okay, yeah, no.
The buses aren't on strike anymore?
We haven't received an update. The busing seems okay now.
Okay, so maybe they're not on strike.
We haven't, yeah.
And as it pertains to uniform, we're a conversation of like, even with dress down, like gym uniform, like sweats. And
yes.
Like a specific day to just wear.
I'm gonna move over here because my computer's about to die. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Thompson.
Was it a specific day as far as like gym uniform? If it were like still in line with Ivy Hill Prep, or maybe like
Miss Altagracia just asked, Miss Janice on live just asked, you are asking, so we will look at it and see if we can provide that option, and then just figure out what that looks like. So maybe for the new year, maybe in January.
Academy, the kids look. I like the way they look. They look like scholars who are ready, who are on their way. But I love Ivy Hill's colors. I love the green. I didn't know that we had black, so that was a news to me. I don't think all parents know that their kids wear black. Now that I know, I'm gonna go out and get some black pants because I don't.
We have black pants here. We have uniform. We just got to ship it.
Uniform too expensive.
I understand. It's the option. The only thing that is required is the shirt, the sweaters, and if female scholars are wearing the jumper. But the pants are optional. I understand affordability. I have 2 kids. I totally get it. So you can buy khaki black pants from. We are with Student Styles. Well, that's why we ordered the uniform to have in-house, because we had a lot of hiccups with delivery and packages not coming. We have pants and shirts here, so you can get everything here, and sweaters. Fleece are here. We don't have any cardigans.
Is it the same price if I buy it here?
We have. Let me pull up the price list. No, we have like a bundle deal.
Yeah, like a bundle.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to order the bundle deal on the school stuff.
I wouldn't recommend
keep
that.
putting the same price. I was like, Miss,
Yeah.
you're advertising.
I don't like the way he looks. To me, he just looks very public school. Doesn't look like my son. It doesn't look like he's a scholar.
He goes here?
Yes, I want him to look. Think about it.
With the uniform, you know.
A lot of these kids just throw on their clothes and go to school. When I was going to school, it's all about grooming yourself, looking like a student.
Well, yeah, that's.
I don't like him coming to school looking like just whatever, like he just woke up and throwing his clothes and went.
Well, that's the parents doing though. There's always, like you just mentioned, right? There's intention behind dress.
Okay, let's
So like, does your hair have oil? Does your face shine? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does your pants have creases?
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
is the shirt on? Is the collar? You know? So there's dressing and there's intention behind how you put your clothes on.
All I'm saying when it comes to uniform is maybe like thinking about, okay, so kindergartens, they get to wear this. Maybe age group or grades 2 to 4 get to wear this. Like, I want my son to know, like, as he gets older, especially in the charter system, you're gonna always be wearing uniform. I'm gonna always put you in school, you wear a tie, and because you gotta learn how to wear these clothes and be in the world wearing proper.
Right. Are you suggesting that as he gets higher in grade, like
Yes,
changes from like a cardigan to a blazer?
I've thought about that. Just thinking about the difference in the lower academy versus upper academy.
It's just a little different, like the lower academy, maybe it's like the.
I've thought about that.
hoodie and the sweatsuit, so you know that, oh, this is kindergarten.
And
And then as they come out, maybe grades 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, they wear the green and the polo top, and then the older kids, you can tell because they wear button-down blazers. Yes, just a little. Like, I just want them to know that it's very important to groom yourself, because I don't like the way these kids. The youngers is the parents, but if you start them at a young age, they will grow up that way.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the older kids, not for nothing, they don't know their shirt is wrinkly. You can't go to school looking like that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the parents doing though, more so than the kid. Because it
I was
starts from
watching
home.
something where they were parents were complaining with the school that why aren't the schools doing enough to ensure that the kids don't come a certain way? The teacher said, why aren't the parents, but you guys are still a school. There should be an ethic in your dress code. Minus points from them. Let them know, like, oh, your shoes, we're taking off points for it. Like, that's a way for the parents to stay on top of
It's
their
accountability
kids.
on both parts.
Yes.
I think it should be 50, and I'll say for this perspective, right? As the told me yesterday, we had like a whole meeting about his performance, right? Maybe like a 20-minute phone call. But I appreciate that because she let me know what she's gonna do from her standpoint and what I can do from home from my standpoint. So it's a coming together of like a hand to glove. I think it's both 50-50 of what can happen as far as just like dressing. Because the teacher could take a point, but if the kid isn't responsible to tell the parent, yeah, I got a point removed, or just honest, I got a removed because my shirts were untied, or my shoes weren't polished, or my shirt weren't tucked in. Most kids are gonna feel it in school, but once they get out of school, it's just like, I'm out. I don't gotta worry about the accountability of it all. But in reality, they do. So that's why I said it's both 50-50, right? A point can be taken off, but if the kid isn't responsible or accountable enough to say, hey, mom, I need to make sure that my pants are creased. So I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
just
both.
feel like I just don't
That's a
want
great
to take away
perspective.
the things that are so important, like when the kids learn how to button up, come to school, because I tell them all the time, like, you gotta look clean, you ain't going to school looking like that, go put some lotion on your face. You wanna look clean and presentable, you wanna start laughing, but you gotta.
Even hygiene,
Teach
yeah.
them from there.
Eyes and nose and boogers and mouth and smells and body odor.
Like, I don't know how I haven't been in the school system in a minute, so I don't know how a together one clean looks like. Like, that's, like, what does it look like when the kids come in, from the time they walk into the building, they take off their clothes, they put it in their locker, and they begin their classroom, like, what does it look like? What are they doing? You guys still do Pledge of Allegiance, like, before you start? Like, what is it that they get with the month? I don't know.
Do you guys do that?
No.
Oh, that's really cool.
I don't believe schools can do that anymore, if I'm not mistaken. The Pledge of Allegiance, I have to double check.
Yeah, I used to get like.
Say the Pledge of Allegiance before the school starts. I don't think that. I think they removed that from schools, if I'm not mistaken. We can't have that. Yeah, we can't do the Pledge of Allegiance. I have to look into it. I don't remember why. And I used to work in New York. Separation between, but yeah, I used to work in New York before I came back. When I worked at another school, we weren't able to do it. And I know in Connecticut they don't do it. So I think it's just like
Someone came here, he doesn't talk to me about that. But one year we were doing it at the Listen, try this, you guys can operate this.
The man of the hour. Families have questions about Dean's List, Mr. Payne.
I have answers.
Awesome. You know, I'm a little biased. I was a Girl Scout. That's the reason why I brought them here, but we are looking into it. I'm a little biased. I was a Girl Scout, Troop 1039.
What happened to basketball for boys?
You don't have that many ball players.
We have to find the people.
They play soccer, yeah.
Female scholars can wear black skirts.
So the boys, so you're saying half of the.
Not at the moment, but we're looking to expand the things that we offer after school.
Last year, basketball.
I'll write that down.
He said that, I think you're not taking the basketball to school. Next thing you think you're gonna tell somebody.
Yeah, we don't put them on the court outside.
It's reasonable, but they do it,
Indoor
they do
recess.
it by season.
Bring it.
So like, you pay for the full
Like or
season,
anything like this, if they have.
depends
if
on
they
how
have
long
gym,
the season is. So
you
their
can
last
use it
year,
in
fall
there.
season,
But
I
I went
believe
here
like
talking to
10
kids,
weeks.
and they have them, I give it
But
to
they
them.
don't ask you for it, or they don't, that's what I'm saying.
But
But
these
if I
are
see them
questions,
picking
which questions, John.
And,
Dean's List, the validation code. Mom, can you show me, sorry, excuse me. Can you just show your screen to Mr. Payne for what you're looking at on Dean's List? And then there are, folks just need their validation codes. So I have,
I'm on the progress report.
all right, awesome. Great.
This is what pops up when she that's as far as yeah, so
Yes.
when you sign up for it's like following instructions on this paper and then that code right there, when it asks for it, you're gonna type it in. And then it'll create the account, and if it says you already have one,
Sorry, say that again.
Password, like this code right here. You're gonna follow the instructions here, so go to deanslist.me, click parents and guardians, or just download the app. So if you go to your app store,
they got it in the app store?
Like during the day?
so it'll be
During the day?
here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll click register. And parents and
Mhm.
guardians, and then just name, email address.
That would be great. Let me write that down.
You can do that. No, that's the website. Yeah, that's the form that you need, and you're gonna take the code that's on that form and put it here. So you put your name, email, create your password.
So not this.
So
Mhm.
that's it right there. It's that. Oh yeah, you're already on. You're good.
Oh, so this is how it's supposed to look?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Listen, I don't know how it works. So I'm gonna-
Writing that
Yeah,
down.
Okay, so this is, when I say do, this is the report part right here, so the code is now.
Code is not available.
Culture day, but like, I know it's very nice of us to approve.
Oh, we have that coming up. We have a cookbook. We do that every year. So that happens every year. We have potluck. We ask families to bring things in, but we definitely do that every year.
And then like
Yeah.
if he receives like.
Let me look at the calendar. We've changed how we are doing our elective events this year. They're a little bit more tailored to the actual elective class. Like we have a silent art auction coming up, a martial arts seminar. So let me just pull up the internal calendar. And they're like incorporated with different electives to support each other, but we are making it a little bit more focused on the actual class. So, yes.
You know what I wanted to ask you?
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys do the fancy feast,
Mhm.
last year was thing, but how come you guys don't do like a nice huge one where the families get to interact now that we don't have that COVID restriction? And because honestly, like what I was thinking for the fancy feast would be like something more kept along in like the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this time it would be after school hours that gives the students and the parents time to come in and be able to sit down with the parents, the ones that want to partake with them and do it. Because I like that, I want to be a part of it too.
Okay, well, that's great. We are about to start planning it, so
I wanted to be a
that's
part
great feedback. Okay, we can incorporate something.
of it. Yeah.
different new spunk like decorations and everybody downstairs. That's yeah, very much so. I love it.
Everything that they do online when they go live, so I liked it, I loved it, the kids look very beautiful when they really do come dressed to the T. They suit, tie, ball gown, and I was like, gosh, why not invite the parents too? So that way we could really mingle and meet other parents.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
That's a great idea, yeah.
You know, that's the only time we get to really. Exactly. I missed it.
Any other answers, questions?
So maybe I just don't know how to navigate it.
Yeah, you're in. So you
Oh,
get
it's just the
notifications.
reports are not
Mhm.
uploaded. So yeah,
So there's no more points and stuff, that's it, you don't get more
That's
points.
all your reports. You get,
Johan gets his points, that's what
notifications.
you.
Oh, the teacher does it,
Yeah, they do.
Progress reports.
They can get
And all the board reports, all the boards.
Why you stopping that?
So,
because of that, they want to.
does it like automatically send you like a notification on your phone?
Yeah, so you'll get it, yeah. It's just like on your phone, like what do you set? Turn
The
on
point system
notifications,
works.
and the progress reports. I haven't emailed them because I've just been printing the hard copies out. But if I email them, it'll go there, and then just like this sits here, the progress reports will live there.
Oh, so it's not there because you didn't have a chance to upload them.
Right, so like I'm printing them out now, like I'm about to print them out now,
Mhm.
and then like I can email it to you if you want to.
Both of them go to the school?
So I can do.
Mine?
Yeah.
No, my oldest used to go, but she struggled with the commute from Connecticut, so she wanted to stay. I live in Connecticut, so she wanted to stay home in Stratford.
How's the traffic coming here?
But then I saw it back in.
I'm a commuting woman now. I can no longer drive.
We're not really.
Yep, you did see me walking from the 46. I missed the 8. I was so upset. But yes, I take the Metro North and then take the 4 to the 46. The traffic is crazy. I used to drive, but it's my body was.
So for me, I'm probably just keeping to kind of.
The traffic is getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, even in the morning. I used to fly in on the Metro North. I take the express train in the morning, so it's about an hour 20 maybe, but I get work done, so it's okay while I'm on the train. And then it's a 20-minute ride to Utica when I get off the phone. I get up at like 3:45. The train comes at 4:19. I live right down the block. Yeah. I was waking up at 4 something to be to work by 6:30. So it's not a bad commute for me. I get work done on the train to and from, and then I don't have to work at home. But when I was driving, I can't work, so I'm still sitting 3 hours of traffic, and then gotta work when I get home. Too much. Too much.
So let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Have you guys thought about like what content for you, like
Say more about content.
because like the old video that's there.
Which video?
With Principal Johnson is still there.
On where?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Oh, we need to revamp YouTube. Okay,
Yeah.
we could do that.
Like, I mean, all right, so me and a few parents, we did talk about it. And we were like, ever since Miss Johnson left and you came in, like you really just tried to make it still cater to those parents more so, and now finding your niche and making it your vision as opposed to someone else's, vision. So that's what I started to notice. And I was just like, well, the video needs to be a little bit revamped now, because you're the new face of Ivy Hill, right? And although I like that video, I want to tell other people, what school your kid go to? I don't like showing them that video. It's nice, but it's just not that Ivy Hill anymore. Like, it's different. It's your vision. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
So it's like, yeah.
That's great feedback.
Yeah, because I don't know if you knew that it was still up there lingering.
A
And now that you
YouTube
got
video.
your
I have
own
to
stuff,
I have
yeah.
to look at that.
You never seen it?
No.
You never seen it? Really?
I focused on the website and Instagram. So
So for Ivy Hill, you guys have like a YouTube page. It's beautiful. I'm not saying it's not beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. The whole
meaning, but it's just like, it's now Principal Coleman, so it has to be her words, her vision for Ivy Hill Prep and what she sees now for the new. It still has that feel, but it's different.
I think I could figure out a way to
Still keep some,
combine the
yeah.
two. I believe in building on. I think, I walked into a great vision that I'm just expanding on. So that's great feedback, and
No, I was just thinking
I'll
about
figure it out.
content wise, like what draws people into, like, when I talk about Ivy Hill, it does send other parents to go see, like, what's school for kids?
Well, that's great. Spread the word.
You know, and they're people being nosy, so me being me, I always go look at other teachers and see what they're doing with their classes, like, oh, this would be nice if Ivy Hill did this too. I wonder if they could do, but you guys already have like that whole greeting, how you guys greet the students, because I noticed that like a lot of schools are starting to do that now, like they have their own meet and greet when the kids go to see their teachers or they're going into the class, maybe it's a handshake or, whatever, but when I noticed that the YouTubers, I was like, well, it's not Johnson anymore, so it's like, the vision is different. For me, it feels like it's different versus what it was with her, with you, it's different, it's like a whole another movement now.
Okay.
So, and then look how much more students and programs, you guys totally different, it's just different. Completely different.
Any other thoughts, questions, comments? Sorry, what's your name? Who's your scholar? Naima. Okay, Naima Rogers. Got it. Anything for you? Okay.
Mom's getting everything on the foot, so.
Okay.
She did the funniest thing during
I know, right?
She's so hilarious. I forgot, like, me and Mr. Baptiste, because he was covering our class for lunch, and she got up and she did like a full circle. She like turned around and then she stood. She was just like, "Thank." I was like, "You all right?" She's like, "I forgot why I got." And I was like, "Well, it's lunchtime. What do you need? A fork." And she's out. I was like,
Be careful.
Yeah, man, she always active.
Yeah. But she's super smart. And kind.
For families who are online, please, you can also email me or Mr. Payne if you have questions about Dean's List. I'm putting his email in the chat and he will follow up with you directly. Maybe Mr. Payne, say hi to the families.
Hi, families.
I'm thinking you was recording that. That's all.
Oh no, I'm on YouTube Live.
Yo, I thought you was recording it.
Oh.
I saw it backing up.
Oh, no. No, I'm not recording that. All right, well, we are about to come to an end. Thank you all for coming out. This was a great conversation. And thank you all for joining. I'm excited. I took some great notes.
So you want me to lead up the PTA or what?
The PTA movement?
I did not know about this.
Yes. We will figure that out.
Right, how does the reading work?
Okay. Okay. So we just sent out communication. Our basement is flooding downstairs because of the rain. So while you're here, if you could take, because we will have a rapid dismissal. Mr. Parker is figuring it out, and the Belt Parkway, he told me, is just shut down. So that is also going to cause some traffic. So we are having a rapid dismissal. The reason why we're having a rapid dismissal is because we cannot provide lunch. With the basement being flooded, they cannot access the fridge. So, yep, you can take your scholars home after you read aloud.
Oh, we're still doing the read aloud? So how's that working? Do I just go?
You can just go right in. Yep.
I was trying to reach a different class.
Oh, you can read a different class too. That's fine. The more the merrier.
I didn't ask you about the lunch, that's what I meant to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
What is the status of luncheon?
Say more.
Like, as far as what you guys are serving?
We have a lunch menu. Want me to send you a link?
Oh, yeah. You know why? Because he's transitioning to vegan, like that's what we're doing, transitioning.
Oh, okay.
So,
Did she leave? I was gonna take that information.
I wanted
Oh,
to.
She
Christian
is in Ace class, so she should be in there.
So I really just wanted to know, like, what, send me the mail to just know, like, what you guys.
What's happening? Mhm.
Because he's like, we're transitioning from no meat to no, like, the, you know, like the red dye 40,
Mhm.
certain things that we're learning that you can't eat,
Mhm.
snacks, food. I'm very cautious. He doesn't drink milk as it is, so, you know, I need him to be careful and stuff that, those type of things. 'Cause I don't know what you guys give, or do you guys have like vegan friendly stuff?
We follow New York
New
City
City.
schools, so
Okay.
but if there's anything that he needs specifically because of his dietary restrictions, then we can figure out how we can
Do I
accommodate.
have to put in some type of like, thing to the city in regards to like maybe being more vegan friendly with their?
That would be
meal
helpful.
options?
I can also speak with Miss Shirley downstairs to see what options we have and follow up with you. What's your email so I can just send you the lunch menu right now?
I'm sure, KIM, Kimberly, CHOO08 @gmail.
You said that so fast. How do you spell Kimberly? KIMBERLLY, not LEY. Okay. CHOO
08 @gmail.
08 @gmail. Okie dokie, just sent that over to you. And then I'll also follow up. So that is awesome. Okay.
Don't forget about the fancy feast, Medea.
I will not forget about the fancy
I really
feast.
would like to be a part of
I
it.
took notes, so I will reach out. And there's another parent who just wrote down who shared what they used to do. So I will follow up
Like,
with
I
her as
don't
well.
mind to cook either. I did it last year, I'll do it again, but I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Of course, we want you to be a part. Take care. Have a good one. Miss Isha, what happens after 5th grade? We will be working on collaborating with different schools to figure out how we can build partnerships and support the transition from Ivy Hill Prep to the next school. So I will be visiting Brooklyn Lab next week just to take a tour, to visit. I met with the principal via phone, and she's coming to our school and I'm going to her school so that we can build our partnership for the matriculation process. And yes, if you can come pick up your scholars now because of the rapid dismissal. Mom, you have a question? Thank you for your patience. Let me call Miss Bob. Hey, can you pop downstairs to speak with Nathaniel's mother really quickly? Okay. Okay.
Yes, it's Nathaniel's mom, so.
Hello. Nathaniel's mom has some questions regarding services. Huh? Oh, really? That's amazing.
Yeah, so they have a rapid business, so I'm here now, I don't know if you're able to come get him, if not, then I'll take him to work with him. Really? Yeah, they said the basement had flooded, they said the belt property is flooded, shut down, so. Mhm. Ooh.
Rapid
No worries, I'll just
dismissal.
take him with me to work and I'll just let them know that I have to cut off.
Miss Sharice, give me 1 second. Let me just call Mr. Parker to get the actual time.
Yeah. I will.
Okay, what time? There's some parents who are still at work, so what time is the rapid dismissal?
Hi. You want to step up there? Because we got the YouTube going on. Oh.
Okay.
How are you?
Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. All right, thank you. Okay. All right, Ms. Sharice, you can come when you can. We're just encouraging families to come due to the commute and the shutdown of the Bell Parkway and because of the basement being flooded. So when you get off work, you can make your way over here. Staff will be here, so everything should be, Zayna should be fine. All right, families, I'm about to end the stream shortly. Should you have any questions, please email me here or you can reach out to me directly.
Thank you, Miss.
No problem. Have a good one. Thank you. Have a great weekend.